And we are live. A very good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. And here is our opening music. Welcome to Chat with Pat. I'm your host, Patricia Peters. We'll dive into fascinating topics, share inspiring stories. We're going to share our thoughts and explore new ideas. Me and you. Get ready for 30 minutes of fun, learning, and connection. Who's ready to chat? Yes, everyone, whoever are out there listening and watching us this afternoon, a very good evening to all of you. Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Right now in New Zealand, it is 10 a.m. Farah. It is 10 a.m. in New Zealand, and it's Friday, guys. It's Friday. So, for those of you who don't know me and see me for the first time, my name is Patricia Peters. I am originally from Guyana. I have been living in the US for 26 years. And what I did before, I was a teacher, English and typewriting teacher in Guyana. And I moved to the US. I became a banker for 17 years. And then I worked with a major green energy company. I was your lead trainer. And recently I became a CI coordinator. And currently I got laid off, 900 of us, due to the economic crisis. And I am presently a digital business entrepreneur. And thank God I have this business to fall back on. A year ago, I started this business. So I also have two daughters, and I am a mom, a wife, a daughter, a sister, a friend, a neighbor, and I am a digital business owner. So today I have someone special in our audience here today, and she is from New Zealand. She is no other than Farah. So Farah is gonna. I will introduce Farah to you. So here we go. Let me introduce Farah to you, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to be inspired. Today, I have the absolute pleasure of introducing a powerhouse of a woman, a trailblazer from the breathtaking shores of New Zealand. She is a devoted mom, a loving wife, and an unstoppable digital entrepreneur. She joined me in giving Please join me in giving a warm welcome to the vibrant and dynamic Farah Nisha Silva. Farah is the creative genius behind her very own live show, Audience Session, where her radiant personality and sharp wit light up every episode. She's smart, funny, and fiercely friendly, and a combination that leaves everyone around her motivated and uplifted. But there is more to Farah than just charisma and charm. She's a go getter with a clear purpose to live life to its fullest, not on her terms, embarking on her digital business journey with unshakable determination. She has achieved the kind of financial freedom that allows her to embrace what truly matters, cherish moments with her young son, treasure time with her family, and the fulfillment of chasing her dreams. Farah's story is a testament to the power of passion and perseverance. She has taken the opportunity of entrepreneurship by the reins, approaching every challenge with vigor, creativity, and relentless drive to succeed. She embodies what it means to strive for excellence, and all while staying grounded in her love for family and life. So take it away, Farah.
Thank you, Patricia. I think for you it would be good evening, early evening, and yes, for us it's morning. It's public holiday, thank God, and it is Friday. But thank you for having me on your live, and thank you for the kind words. So yes, I am from New Zealand. I'm originally from Fiji. I've been living in New Zealand for over 2 decades now. So by profession, I am a registered social worker, but with my field, I specialize in the youth justice system. So I am based with the government, but for over a year now, I've been doing this online business, and I'm a mum and a wife. And when I started this business, I was a full time student, and I'm still kind of a student, but I still run this business more of a side hustle. Yeah, it's been amazing so far. The journey has been great. I think no words can really describe my journey so far. But yeah, once again, thank you for having me here today.
I am honored, Farah. I just watched Gather and Grow, and I look at you, I look at your videos, and I said, I have to have her on my show. And that is why I approached you. I felt you're amazing. So
Thank you.
how did it go in Australia?
It was great. That was my second Gather and Grow. The first one was in Sydney. The second one, it was even bigger and better. And look, I'll share this thing that I went with some of our new business partners, and I could actually see myself in them when I first went. Because when I
Yeah.
went first one, I was, I think, about 3 months into the business. But the excitement's still there. Actually, the excitement is at a different level because it's not so much unknown, but I knew what to expect, but I knew it would be at a different level. So that hype, I think I still have that hype up in me. So it was great. And I'll tell everyone, if there's any gather and grow that happens around you, these face-to-face live gatherings, they great, the ones in person. I mean, it's nice to do live sessions, but it's way different when you have the same energy of everyone in the room with you. So my advice would be attend any functions you can, if you want
I
to,
can only
especially
imagine.
around within, like, traveling distance, and if it's not too far across the globe. Yeah.
Yes. So I took a look at all the videos from all the business owners, and it was it was amazing.
Yeah, it was. It was.
So you were a guest speaker there as well, right?
No, no, I wasn't actually. But we had some really um, top liners. We had some real great inspirational people there that are sitting way up top, talking about the experiences and sharing their knowledge with you. So that was great.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, a lot of them came from the US as well.
Yeah, yes, we did.
So without further ado, I will go into the questions because I know you have a little one, and today is a holiday in your country, and I don't want to keep you for
Yes,
long. Plus, I wake you up early today. So,
it's all
my
right.
first question is, what inspired you to start your digital business, and what's your niche? What inspired you to start? Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear.
Okay.
Can you hear me properly?
Yes, I can. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you hear the question?
No, sorry. I think there was a bit of delay and I stopped hearing you
Oh,
for
okay,
that.
okay, okay.
Sorry.
So, what inspired you to start your digital business, and what's your niche?
All right. So what inspired me was, look, like a lot of us, we unfortunately, when we hit that rock bottom or that toughness, or that hardship. So for
Mhm.
me, my husband had lost his job over decades of being in a professional, and we both fairly educated, well-paid jobs. But out of the blue, we've had changes with our government, and then he lost his job with this company. So it was like, we've got a baby, we will be down to one income, and let's face it, one income does not really cut it nowadays with everything so expensive. I mean, it's nice when you have two well-paid incomes, coming in, but when it goes down to one, then you really have to think about your life choices. And for me, it was mainly around, how will I pay for my mortgage all by myself. So that mommy had kicked in, but then that protector side kicked in, and I was like, okay, I really need to find something that can generate income along with my full-time work. But I wanted something that will not totally strip me out of my hours, because my son then was just under 3 years old. So, and he was my miracle child. So I needed to make sure that my
Yeah,
son was my first priority, along with, paying the bills. But really, if my family's not there, then nothing else really mattered to me. So
right.
that's how I came into this business. And I just say that I saw the right ad at the right time, and I jumped in, and straight away, every part of me knew it was the right time, and I needed to not waste any more time. Because believe me, prior to this, I've spent maybe 5 years thinking I really need to do something. I really need to get a side hustle, but there really wasn't a push. But this run, it's one of those push where there's no time to think. You just
Right,
have to,
right.
take actions.
No
So that's
hesitation.
how, yeah, so that's how I got into this business. And then when I came on board, my why was really my husband, my son, and then I wanted to focus on, um, ethnic indigenous female. And then I realized my wanting to help was great, but it was quite wide, and I needed to narrow it down. So I ended up narrowing it down to, any female that was like-minded like mine, because I love traveling. Nothing
Right.
in this world will stop me from traveling. And God forbid, if medical stuff happens, I still make it happen. So I needed to, put my family first in my travel, because I'm all about life experiences, seeing the world. So anyone that's like me has the drive to do anything that what it takes for you to go out, live your life. And I'm not one by the box. I don't do what people tell me I should do. It's more around what feels
Right.
good and what
Is right. Yeah.
sits well with me. So my main focus became about, other ladies similar age that are going through similar situation, and also the ones that have, I was brought up to believe that you have to do 9 to 5, but I never did. I didn't believe in 9 to 5. I didn't believe in you only born to get married and then raise a family and all that, because that's what was pushed in my life, and I did not want any of that. I wanted to be able to do what I wanted to do, see the world and whatnot. So right now I'm still working on, really refining my target audience, but it is anyone like-minded, just like me. It's either male or female, but my big focus is the ethnic females.
Absolutely. And that's what you have to have, people like yourself who thinks like you and would be doing this business like you. And that's amazing. You talk about traveling. Will you be coming to Chula Vista in June?
No, unfortunately, I'd love to, but I've had few trips back to back, so I think I'm sitting this one down. But mind you, like yesterday when I watched our mastermind, and I was like,
Oh yeah.
Ramon's very convincing. I don't know. I still have
I
time
know,
till,
yeah. She was.
till our next lot of things, because there's two things happening back to back. So I was like, watch the space. I don't know, because I operate like this. Someone just has to say, "Let's go," and I'm all about let's make it happen. So I'm very dangerous about when it comes to having conversations with overseas trips, and all my friends, close friends, would know. The minute you say to me, "Farah, let's make this happen, this trip
Mhm.
happen," I'm on board. So let's see what happens. Let's see what
I
happens.
need to hang with you, Farah, because I want to travel the world too.
Ah, look, more the merrier.
So I've never went. I just started this business a year ago, and I'm going to Chula Vista. So this is my first trip, and I
Nice.
can't wait for the excitement, the fun, the feelings, and all the insights. So I'm very very excited.
Look,
So
and I don't even think I can tell you how exciting it would be, because I've heard it would be like 2,000 or more people. So
yes, yes,
yeah, so I think whoever can go, whoever can attend, do it.
yes,
Yeah, you
yes.
need those sort of settings to get the momentum and drive going. And believe me when I say this, those fires, you cannot put it out in you that like anytime soon.
Right, you come back with that deal, and that boost of energy, right?
I
That you
think
want to
that
do.
whole the vibration of everyone else's energy. Because if you're one person, but you have when I went to Melbourne, I had 400 people, like 200 people cheering you for your success. Like, why
Right.
wouldn't you? Like 400
Yes.
people, all uplifting you, all celebrating you. And how often? And this is the truth. How often do we have people at home that don't even get support from their spouse? It's hard
Oh
to
my
get the
God.
support.
Oh
So
my God. So much
and then we have wins.
husbands.
We have
Yeah.
wins, but we don't actually stop to celebrate those wins. But when you go in spaces like this, you get to shine by yourself, you
Yep.
realize that there's so much more to you other than just being a mom and a wife and a daughter.
Yes,
So
we have so much
I'm
potential.
excited for you. I've got goosebumps just talking about it. I'm really excited for you.
Well, I'm glad. I feel goosebumps when you're talking about it just now. So I can't wait for June to come here. And this your introduction about this whole feelings thing. I'm very excited about it, Farah. I'm so excited. And I wish if you were going.
I'll let you know if I do make it. Never say never.
Yes, yes. I hope something works out. Yeah. And you mentioned something about ethnicity. You're Indian, right?
Yes, I'm Fijian Indian and I'm Muslim. Yes.
Yes. Good. Well, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
All right. So your parents are from India or Bangladesh?
No, we're from Fiji. Well, look, they must have been from India like generations and generations ago, but we have not been able to nail it down to when. And I have done a DNA test, and it gives me a little bit of European and South Indian and all sorts, but we still haven't been able to pinpoint where exactly or when.
Well, I guess
So,
we're in the same boat because my ancestors are from India, and
right.
I don't know my mom's side. They said they're from Uttar Pradesh, but I have no clue. But our last name is Peters, and mom is her name is Singh. Her last name
Yeah.
is Singh. So there is not a country on the face of the earth that doesn't have Indians in them, right?
Right.
We're
We
all
are
over.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I was born in Guyana, where the indentured laborers when they're the Indians from India when they're on a cruise ship on a boat to go search for work. So
Yeah.
that's how we came about. Anyway, good. So this is the first time I'm having an Indian woman on the
Nice.
interview. So thank you so much. So my next question is, how do you balance your role as a mom, wife, and a business owner? And you have you have jobs too. So how do you balance all of that?
Um, Look, it's hard, but it's doable.
Hmm.
Um, and we're here to talk about real stuff. So I'll just put it out there.
Right.
It's hard. It is hard because I have he's 4 now. My son's 4 now. But
Hmm.
we don't really have family around to look after him. So when anything happens, then it's just either me or my husband. So one of us always has to be around, and we obviously alternate because both our jobs have been quite important and
Hmm.
priority as well. But ever since I started this business, it's been a little bit of trial and error for me. Trying like when I started, I was also a full-time student and a full-time employee.
Wow.
So it was kind of like, what do I focus on first? What was
Hmm.
priority first? So I had to put my, thinking cap on, and I was like, look, this business is a legacy for me. It's a long term. Me studying was once I get it over and done with, then it's done. So it was more like, all right, I go to work, work's work. But then what I started doing was in between my lunch breaks and stuff. So instead of
Wow.
scrolling through, social media, I would actually sit there and do my scheduling. So I needed to make really good use of my free time. So lunch hours, any downtime, any traveling, because I do a lot of transporting, a lot of traveling for work. So
Okay.
I try not to drive, and that's when I'm trying to, schedule things. So you really have to become, smarter, think outside the box. So that's
Right.
what I would do. Like I'm not a morning person at all. I'm a night owl. So
Mhm.
I needed to look at, what was realistic and what's working and what's not. And I'm still, it's all trial and error, and I'm still working at it. So I decided to focus on my studies first. So I started to put a lot more time in my studies. And then along the way, I became unwell. I needed some surgery. So that meant I was out of the business for so many months. I needed to work on not feeling guilty that I needed to take care of myself because I have everything that was priority, having to pay the bills, getting extra income in. So I needed to really slow down. And that's where we forget that we all need to slow down. And if you read any books, if you follow any successful person, any millionaires and billionaires, they all talk about you need to take care of yourself, regardless of
Yes.
whatever.
Self care.
Because
Yep.
you're not fine. nothing's going to work for you. Like, so I needed to take the space then to recover from my surgeries, which took longer than expected. So when I came back, I went back to my studies and I was quite focused. Okay, I really need to get this out of the way. So I don't sacrifice my family time. I would do things at night when the boys in the house have gone to sleep. And then
Mm-hmm.
over time, I realized I'm sacrificing my time, but I
Right.
was okay with it. And then my husband had to sit down and talk to me about it. And he said, well, it might be okay for you, but you don't really have any self-care time left for you. And I was fine. But then he could see, and we get so caught up in things, we don't realize that if our glass is starting to not be that half full and we're not full, we operate at a very, that snappy level. We
Yeah.
think we're doing fine, but we're not. Um,
Yeah.
and then I thought I had everything, put together. I was great. I was managing everything. But really, when it comes to, being short fused, I realized I was quite high
Yeah.
up there. It didn't
Right.
take me
Right.
long to swim. So I needed to take a step back again and then look at, okay, so now just behind me here on the wall, I've got like Monday to Sunday, and I've got written on there. So like on Monday, I would focus on scheduling. On Tuesday, we've got like my audience sessions, so I would focus on that. And then Wednesdays, I'll do trainings and all those. So I had to really break it down and put it in front of me so I can actually see it, because I'm one of those ones. I think a lot and I want to do everything at once because I have to get everything done. But
Right.
I've recently learned that we females think we're great at multitasking, but what we don't realize is when we multitask, a lot of the stuff is half done or not done. So I've had to take a step back and be like, okay,
Mhm.
it's great to multitask because I can do
Yeah.
it. I'm a Wonder Woman, but how often have I finished things? Like I start this and I'm like, great, crap, I haven't gone back to that yet. And when you come back and you look at everything, you're like, okay, that's half done, that's half done, that's half done. So I've had to go back, and my husband's been quite useful in that environment, that section for me, where he's able to tell me, well, you need to, dial it down a little bit. And really, someone
Dial
that
it
tells you
down.
things that you don't want to hear it. But unfortunately, we don't really like to hear it when it comes from our spouses. But if it came from someone outside,
Somebody
we'll
else.
listen to them,
My
right?
husband told me the same thing too. He said, if I tell you to lose weight or not to eat something or not to do this, you don't listen to me. But you hear it from someone else and you're taking precautions.
Yeah. But I've had to relearn some of my ways. And I'm, like I said, it's still trial and error. I'm still working at it. So he reads a lot of books. Because we've been on self growth journey. Last year we both did Tony Robbins together.
Yes. Yeah.
So we kind of like, okay, I don't have time to read all the books out there. So you read
Mhm.
the books, you give me the things I need to know,
All
and
right.
I focus on what we need to focus on. And then while managing work, knowing that work is priority because I needed that to pay our bills. So while I
Mhm.
do that, I've had to, we've sat down and we looked at, okay, where can you help me with my husband? Because my son's got swimming classes, there's a karate, and kids have all sorts.
All these, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like you can't do everything. And then cooking, the hardest part about cooking is having to think about what you will cook tonight. So we kind of sit down and we're like, okay, if I'm focusing on this,
Mhm.
where can you pick up? And we have to do this together as a team. And
Right.
thankfully, right now, it's working for us because my husband is, taking care of most dinners now. Thank
Mhm.
God.
That's good. That's
While he's
great.
focusing on dinner, I focus on, I might have lives, I might have team sessions or mentoring, whatever's happening for me. But
Right.
along the way, when it comes to family time, I have family time. I spend that 1 hour with my son because I do not like keep saying no to my son or keep saying Mama's got work. And my son
Mhm.
knows anything happens, he goes, okay, Mama's got to work.
Oh,
So
geez. Yeah.
that kind of hits you. So I make time when my son says, hey, I want to play, then I'll tell him, give me 30 minutes.
Mm.
So I will still do that. It just means that when they go to bed and they all know that, okay, Mama's going to be working, and if it's anything urgent or anything like this today, they
Right.
are entertaining themselves, but I've told them they give me that much time,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
and then I'll be yours after that. So I think it's a real trial and error.
Right.
It's a real teamwork.
Yep.
If you can have that, it's great.
It
I
got to
mean,
be teamwork.
it is hard work to get there, but again, it's always going to be trial and error. And as you grow, with your growth, with your team, you
Mm-hmm.
will have to keep changing because one thing will not always, remain. And
Right.
if you don't change, that means something's not right. We have to keep
Absolutely.
changing, keep evolving.
Yes.
But yeah, so it's a
Change
trial and error, but
definitely.
it's very doable. It's very doable as long as you talk about it at home. You can't just keep quiet and be like, I'm gonna do it everything by myself, superhero. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
All right. You got your cup full and running over, girl. You are a multitasker. You are a super mom. And my advice to you, I was telling PB on a comment earlier today. She said she's going walking. Health comes first. And I said, that's a smart move. Health is your wealth. Without
Yeah.
your health, you can't gain wealth, right?
Mm.
And my advice to you is you can't drink from an empty cup.
Mm.
So do some self care.
Yeah.
Take that time out for yourself. And you're doing a phenomenal job. So kudos to you.
Yeah.
So, my next
Thank you.
question to you is what's your favorite part about being a digital business owner and what do you find most rewarding?
Two things.
Mhm.
Traveling. Oh, I love traveling.
That's yeah, you got that one.
Any 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 reason to travel, you don't have to like try hard to convince me. I'm on board. I'll make it happen.
I just watched your video and I sense it. I sense you are this traveling, bubbly, jovial woman. And right away I click. I click. That's why I reached out to you. I was like, she's a fun person.
Thanks. Well, funny thing is we've had I put up some lives while we're in Melbourne. Now I've
Hmm.
had few people that I met here in New Zealand when I came back. So I had a function the very day I returned from Melbourne. And a lot of people asked me and even messages, they're like, hey, it looks like you've been having so much fun. You had cocktails, you've been drinking. And I'm like, actually, all those lives you've seen, I've had nothing but water that day. And
That's
then they're
everybody
like,
else's
so
drink.
it's you without. And I was like, I don't need alcohol to have fun. I just need the right company, right environment, the right mindset. Like I don't need anything to change or alter my mindset state to actually have fun. Like,
That's
yeah, I don't
naturally
need
who
a
you are.
reason to have fun.
And then I went to lunch with a set of girls from the bank one time, and I don't drink, so I had a virgin pina colada, and I
Yeah.
was laughing the loudest at the table, and they were all looking at me, and I was like, "Oh my god, did they mistake and put something in her drink?" Yeah,
Yeah,
so
no, I don't have
you
to
know,
drink. I can operate way, just as well and be still fun with apple juice and water. So my two things, yeah, traveling, and the most rewarding part is that I'm able to help other mums, mostly mums, because that's my target, mums or any females like me. And
right?
so far, I've been blessed to have ethnic women in my team. I'm just so
Amazing.
grateful.
Yep.
And talking about, rewarding, I was actually just telling my husband yesterday that when I was doing my mentoring session, like when I reflected back on that and I was like, gosh, is that really me? Like I absolutely love doing that. I love mentoring. I love teaching.
Hmm.
And yes, one, it gives you a realization that you have a lot more to offer than what we all think we do. Sometimes we think that, oh, maybe I don't really know this.
Right.
But
We
when you
belittle ourselves. We sell ourselves
yes,
short. Yep.
but when you get in that space, you're like, gosh, I really know that stuff.
Yes, yes, yes. You
Um,
surprise at your own
but
self.
yes, so I think overall, I don't know, maybe I was born to give. Like I love my work as a social worker. I work with kids, I work with families, I work with youth. I love what I do. And then I feel like I'm blessed that I can still do that in my day job. And then now I'm able to
Mentor
help
other
and
people too. Yep.
yeah, help other people, but at a different level. But this is more around, what I've been through as well, that building legacy, wanting more. There's no
Mhm.
harm in wanting more. We all want more. So my most rewarding thing is the traveling, of course, the learning from different people, and then being able to help. Just help in general, being able to give back to people, to grow alongside of me, and then just watching people grow. So yeah.
That's amazing. Amazing answers. All your answers are phenomenal. And I think listening to you, you are a good teacher. You can speak well, you answer very well, and I think the people you have under you mentoring have an awesome person
Thank you.
to take care of them. So my next question to you is, what advice would you give to other moms or women looking to start their own digital business? And I know for people looking out there, if you're just tuning in, I have my business partner here, and she's from New Zealand. Her name is Farah, and we're doing an interview live right now. So if you guys have questions, you want to leave a comment, kindly do so. We would really appreciate it. So Farah, you go ahead and answer that. Yeah.
So my advice would be, there's so much more within us to us.
Mhm.
You need to stop doubting yourself. I mean, just a conversation I had yesterday with somebody, and that we are so much worried about what other people think of us, what we do, what we put out there. And it could be because I've learned it the hard way and I've lived it for a couple of decades or so now.
Mhm.
I'm happy in my own skin where I don't do things to please anyone else. I do things that sits well with me. If you're not happy, you're not happy. So
Exactly.
my advice would be, trust yourself, trust that you've got so much more. And then
Mhm.
one of the classic examples I give females is, if you're doubting yourself and if you've got a family, you've got kids, just look at them. Look at them, because we go through giving birth. No one gives you any heads up, any warnings. There's no manual that comes along with it. You know, people just say, oh, yeah, you're pregnant. But
Mhm.
every pregnancy is different. You've been through pregnancy, you've been through the whole 9 months, or some people like me, less than 9 months. But the journey you go through, the journey your body goes through, the mindset,
Right.
if you can cope with that, if you can bring a child into this world and then grow that human being without, killing them. So it's like, I think, we just need to realize that people just think being a
Words
mom,
can't
giving
describe
birth,
that,
being a
right?
wife,
There
it's
is
too much.
no description for that. That's an
No.
amazing process that we
Yeah.
women. I tell my kids, like, growing up in Guyana, I never had a parent planning class or a parent planning book or a pregnancy book or any television, nothing of the sort. I didn't even know what I was having until I have the baby in my hand. You know, that's
Yeah.
1991.
Yeah.
Yes, and even though I had no knowledge, or all the women, I'm speaking on behalf of all the Guyanese women who had no knowledge of anything. We just we just get married because that's the culture.
Mhm.
We have a child because that's the culture, right? We have our kids, and we have no education about anything of the sort. But
Yeah.
behind all of that, we brought our kids up. We give birth to them healthy, bouncing babies. We give birth to them. We bring them up safe and sound, and we teach them right things. And
Mhm.
they grow up to be good men and women today.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
yeah, and I speak for
And
my
you could
parents.
be, even if you were given all the books and all the videos, nothing, no one person's journey and experience is the same. It's never the same.
Right.
But like you said, like you grow them, they come out healthy, they grow into lovely people. But
Yeah.
is the biggest unknown in our life for a
Hmm.
female is through pregnancy, giving birth, because you don't know if your baby's going to come out healthy, even though the scans show that, yep, they're healthy.
Right.
Sometimes that's not what you expect when they come out. So
Yeah.
if we can go through that unknown and we
Yes.
can survive that and come out the other side, why are we so scared of the unknown when it comes to doing what we want to do?
Right. Right.
It's like,
Mhm.
if you had a child, you can't undo that. You can't undo whatever happens. Whereas with a business, if something's not working, you can change it just like that. We have mentors, and that's the great thing about our business, is that you have coaches, you have mentors, and it's always available to you. And if your coach and your mentor's not available, we have a database where you actually can access any coaches. Like there's a
Yes.
platform that you can access anyone. So
This the
so
sense of
why wouldn't
community in this
yeah,
business, the sense of community in this business is amazing.
Yes,
Everybody and anybody is ready and willing to help you. Any questions
that's
you
right.
have. And
That's
that is
right.
why I told my last person I interviewed, Tina, I told her it felt like a church in here.
Yes, yes. But it's not nothing that's forced upon you. It's still, you know, you decide what suits you. You decide what fits with your lifestyle and if you want to do it or not. You know, like there's
Right. Yeah.
it's I think there's no words to describe the community we have. And to all females, I think stop doubting yourself. You're so much more. There's so much more for you out there. And you can start by asking yourself, are you happy with what you've got in your life? Like truly, don't look at your husband, your kids. Within yourself, ask yourself, are you truly happy with what you have going for you in your life? And do you feel like you've got options? Because you do. You have the options. And if you think if there's 10 people in your family that won't support you, we have a community of 240 something
50,
thousand
yeah, 250 right
people
now.
that will support you. So
Yes.
what are your options? Yeah. So
Right.
just do it.
Yes.
Stop thinking. Less thinking is better.
Yes, women
Just
out
do
there,
it.
if you're listening, don't belittle yourself. Don't sell yourself short. You have potential. You have the capability and the ability to do anything you put your mind to do. So, if you want to do something on the side, think outside of the box, make extra money, this is an ideal platform for you to step on. All you need to do, ask us how, and we'll direct your path step by step. So, Farah, your question, your final question for tonight or today in your country, what's your vision for your business in the next year and how do you plan to achieve it?
Well, I've got big goals. I've got massive goals, but look, my vision for the next 12 months is that I expand my online business um and reach even wider global audience.
Mhm.
And in my
Look, you're in
vision
New
is,
York already. You're in New
yes, I
York
know, I
already.
know. I just need to get there now, physically in person. um,
Yes.
but yeah, so part of my vision, I want to expand globally, like have businesses actually happening, and have a bit more meaningful connections. And yes, I'm grateful that today I am, I've reached New York, so that's a big plus. And
Yes.
then yeah, and then look, I do want to, empower others to step into their own vision of freedom and fulfillment.
Mhm.
Either it's your personal journey, your professional journey, whatever that looks like. And then how I plan on doing that is always, scale your strategy, always sit down, look at what's working, what's not working, because nothing will always, it's not given, it's not a set thing, things will not always be the same, so you have to keep changing, keep evolving. um Build a stronger community, find the ones that you click with, find the ones that you feel like it's just wasted time. And we will have people in our personal lives mostly where you like, they're not driving me, they're not bringing growth, so you need to be able to recognize that
Mhm.
what's growth and what's not growth for you. So for me, I still want to keep building the stronger community around me. Um, and even like for other people, if you're looking at growing mentorship, collaboration, it's great.
Yes. Yeah.
Pick people's ideas, and as they say, successful people leave clues. So keep
Right.
learning from people, keep picking people's brains, because there might be times that you don't think, thinking outside of the box, or like in my field of profession, we say different lens is always good. You always
Yes.
need the different lens to look into whatever's happening for you in your life, your business. Um, and yeah, like my personal vision is, go visit another country. That's always on my list. So
I know,
every year,
Farah, I know you want a branch of people in New York under your name. I knew it.
yes. Look, I'm all about, it just makes traveling so much easier. Let's face it, accommodation is so expensive. So anywhere you go, if you find business partners or in our field, in our business partners, thankfully turns into relationships where you cherish as family and sisters and brothers. If you can have those relationships, imagine how much more money you will have to spend on everything else because you're saving on accommodations. That's a
Yes.
bonus. It's like
You know
huge
what?
tick for me. So
I'll extend an
anywhere I go,
invitation
I find
anytime.
friends.
I'll extend an invitation. Anytime you're in New York, you're welcome to stay at my house.
Oh, look, if I, when I, not if, when I make it to New York, yes, I
Mhm.
will definitely let you know. But look, in terms of personal development, my goal is for the next 12 months to start coaching. I'm really working at that. I want to grow as a leader and then just, stay aligned with my purpose, my vision, and then
Mhm.
just keep the consistency growing and keep giving back. And look, I don't
Early,
doubt myself.
early
Like whatever,
retirement.
yeah, and like whatever I put out there, I generally do it in a way that I want to be treated by other people. So
Yes.
I'm most of the like actually not every time I put anything out there, that's truly me.
Mm.
And you'll know when I'm not feeling it on the days I'm not feeling because I can't fake. People say fake it till you make it. I cannot fake it like that. So what I put out there from me is
What you see is
genuinely
what you get. Yes.
yes. So, like, I don't hide. I'm not worried about what people think of me. If it's positive, that's great. If it's negative, I move
Yeah.
along from that.
Well,
So,
I just
yeah.
want to say congratulations on your milestone. We're not going to mention the milestone, but congratulations. I'm so proud of
Thank
you.
you. Yes.
And
Thank
I
you.
would like I'm from Guyana. I would like to have I would like to have a group of people in Guyana. So when I go to Guyana, I can have meet and greet over there. I
Mm,
want to
mm,
have in my city where I live here in upstate New York, I want to
mm,
have a group of people here to be called my group, you
mm,
know?
mm,
And that's my goal, that's my aim, and that's why I put my ads out there. I'm out there all the time now. I don't
mm,
work, so this is my full-time stuff right now. So I'm putting all emphasis, and I put it on. I don't know if you can see all my
yes.
all my
Post it.
all my affirmations and all my stuff over
Mm,
there, so I am I'm making affirmations and
mm,
telling myself that I can do this because
mm.
250 people, 250,000 people is doing this and they're all succeeding. I need to do that as well. And I'm halfway there already. So,
Nice. Nice.
and it's only hard to start. And when you start, you're halfway there, right? And
Yes.
because you did so well, you answer all your questions. I'll give you a bonus question as well.
Okay.
So, your bonus question is, can you share a moment that brought you the greatest joy or fulfillment outside of work?
Outside of work. So outside of online business as well.
Everything concerning work outside. The one thing that brought you and I think I know that answer. You mentioned it. That can I tell you the answer? What
Yeah,
brought
go
you
on.
joy?
Let's see.
Your
Yeah,
son.
go on.
Your son.
Yes, yes. So hands down, it is my son. I had a very and look, this is what our business is about. You get to know people on a personal level as well, and there's nothing wrong with me sharing this. So yes, I was privileged enough, lucky enough to have my miracle child. I had a really rough pregnancy. But look, I was the lightest ever during my pregnancy, so that's a bonus. I lost 10 kgs within the first 2 weeks, but I was fine. Nothing was really wrong with me. But in terms of pregnancy, I had one of the hardest. I could not say that how some people say, oh, it was breeze. It wasn't like that for me. So even right up and until my son came along. He came early. Even after that, I don't have much memory of the first 24 hours because it was at that level where I was knocked out too. So I missed out. There's so much I missed out on. There's so much memories I don't have. But
Mhm.
I'm just grateful that my son is healthy.
Right.
He's happy. He's like me. Like we've grown. We've taught him to like have that life where you don't need to have 9 to 5. My son is 4 now. He's been to multiple more than 5 different countries already.
Oh wow.
And to him, he's all about holiday. My God, some days he has a cry and
He's
he'll tell
like his
my
mama.
Yeah, he'll say to my husband, it's like, Papa, I don't want to go daycare. And my husband's like, why not? He goes, because I want to go on holiday. When are we going on holiday? And even when I went to Melbourne, I had to pack my bags without him knowing it. When I went to Sydney, I packed my bags. I put it in the bathroom behind my laundry basket so he wouldn't see me. I had to drive by myself.
Mhm.
Anything to do with holiday, to him, holidays means plane. So for
Oh,
me, I'm grateful that I can provide for holiday on a
yes.
plane. But
Yep.
I think at some point we've created a little bit of, the high quality kid where to him, like when we've had long weekends, just like
Mhm.
last week we had like long weekend and we went to Auckland, which is about hour and a half from my house. And I said to him, we're on holiday. And he goes, so we're going to the airport now? Like, are we packing our bags now? And we made it to Auckland. We had a little suitcase. He goes, cool, we've done at the hotel. We've done what we needed to. Are we going to the airport now? And I'm like, no, son,
Oh,
this
he
is
loves
our holiday.
this. Oh
So
God.
bless his heart. He just thinks that holidays are meant to be on a plane, going to a different country, experiencing things. And look, if
Mhm.
I look at the long term, I think both my husband and I, we're doing something right because we've already sort of, ingrained in his head that holidays has to be exploring, doing fun
Yes.
things,
Yes.
meeting new people. But financially for his parents, it's kind of like, we've created a monster right now. But look, he is my joy every single day. Whatever happens, I know I'm doing it for him.
Yeah.
I'm just grateful that even after he was born, we had some issues, but now it's like he's just healthy, he's bubbly, he's out there, he's a social butterfly. He is just like me, but he also has some traits of his father that I'm not always impressed about. But he's generally happy and bubbly. And look, what you see in me is pretty much what you'll see in my son. So
Oh, that's
yeah.
amazing. That's amazing. And that's your story. And we all have a story. And everybody who
Yes.
joined this business, they have a story. They have a why. And I'll share my why with you. Like I was doing fine in the corporate world. I was making, a good amount of money every month. And my daughter car broke down one day and she went to a place called Lake George in New York here. And in the middle of the road, her car broke down. And she called me and she said, Mom, my car broke down. My first question is, are you okay? She said she's fine. Okay. A few days after, the engine, we have to replace the engine, $5,000. Like any good parent, $5,000 hard to get in this country. I dished that money out and I gave her to take her a car because the car is important for work and everything else here. And I lie down on my bed and I said, uneasy. I felt uneasy, discombobulated, and stressed out. And I was like, what if I die tomorrow? What is going to become of the girls? I don't have a sister. I have four brothers. They have their wives and their own children. My parents are in the 80s. They might not be here that long. And what if something happens? I'm the only person my kids can fall back on if they want major help. And then I was scrolling on social media and I saw this ad of my coach. And I didn't hesitate. I was like, I need to do something to make these girls' life better. And that's when I tap into this business. And my daughter is my reason. That's my story. And that's why I started this business. Yes, so Farah, I just want to thank you so much for gracing me with your presence. I really appreciate you accepting my invitation. This interview was awesome. And if people are looking out there, women on the fence, women who are skeptical and have doubts and have fear, and maybe their husband is holding them back, maybe their kids are holding them back, and you want to sell your business, you want to advertise your business right now to the New York community, the New York audience, tell them how you'll go about doing that, Farah. Invite the people to join your business.
Look, like I said, jump the fence. And if you're thinking, and a lot of us, a lot of ethnic females as well, indigenous, we think about financials first. If you can invest in yourself, there's no greater investment than investing in yourself. And we both can tell you that what you invest today to start this, you will get multiples
Yeah.
in
You
in
make that back in
return.
no time.
And I'm not just talking about financial, the mindset, the
Mhm.
growth you have within you. And like I said earlier, that when I did Gather and Grow, platforms like that, you realize that you can shine for who you are, and there's so much more. And when you are around people like that, you cannot hold your true self back. So if you really want to surprise yourself, if you want to grow a legacy and something that, yes, look, I also thought about how I will fund my investment to start this business. But I can tell you this, there's always a way. There's always a way to do it. You just need to believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, no one will. And I think that's where everything stops. If you don't believe in yourself, nothing can happen for you. Nothing can make anything, better or change anything, because the change has to start from you. So jump that fence, ask
Mhm.
questions, make contact with Patricia, ask and ask and ask. Like, I personally message, and if I need to phone call, if people say phone call, I do that. So if you need a phone call, if you want to know if Patricia is real, ask her to give you a phone call, message her, because we are here to help, but we cannot make you believe in yourself if you don't believe in yourself. So for me, it's believe in yourself, have faith in yourself, everything will fall in place, and you will get back multiples and tons of knowledge and growth financially, mentally, physically, emotionally, in all sorts of ways. That the only regret you will have, which I have, is I should have started this 5 years ago. I
Earlier.
wish I knew about this 5 years ago.
I
I
would
didn't
be
know that.
tired by now, right?
Right. But
Like
so
me. Yeah.
we you don't want to be living in the regrets that I should have, could have. I mean, I see people retiring at 40, or even in their 30s, they're retiring, which because they can. And a lot of us choose to carry on with our online business because we love how we feel, the fire it brings in you, and just being able to truly help. And you won't just be helping yourself, you will be in a position to help other females like you, or even if you come from a different from a different country, you can go back and help them. You can help your parents, whatever that looks like. Because us, immigrants, refugees, any ethnic, anyone living in a different country other than yours, you will know how hard it is when you leave
Yes.
home and you go somewhere else. So we don't even have to remind you of the hardship. So believe in yourself. Just believe in yourself. That's all we're asking. Believe in yourself and make the first move. And you watching this would be your first move. So make the second move. Yeah,
Guys,
believe in
I would like
yourself.
to join with Farah as well. And I said, you leave one country and come to another. Are you living or just surviving?
Yeah.
If you're on the fence today and you have doubts and skepticism and fear, join us. This is your chance to take action, where you'll build your confidence, you'll transform your mindset, you will secure your financial future, you will help your family. You if you want to stop having your boss watching over your shoulder and micromanaging you at work, if you want to stop the 9 to 5 grind and waking up to alarms, if you want to stop the stress and living paycheck after paycheck, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. We're not telling you because we want you to join. We're telling you because when we know good things, we want to share it with others. And that's what Indians do, right? We like to
Yeah.
share.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and a lot of us, actually, all of us in this business, we all about growing together.
Yes.
We don't do the put people down because they've got growth happening. We get in there, we help you, we help everyone. So why would you not want to come into a community where you just uplifted? And look, ask yourself how many milestones you've missed out on, either it's for kids or for yourself or your family or your husband or your wife. How many
Right.
times have you not shown up, or you're late, you missed out on the moment, which you look, someone's done a video for you, but being watching a video and being in person, it's never the same. So ask yourself the questions: are you actually happy with what's happening in your life?
Yeah. Are you
And I think
satisfied?
you will
Yeah.
be able to answer all your questions just by sitting down, write it, sit down and write it out. You don't have to share it with anyone. And if you're not, if there's any time you say, I'm not happy, then you got to make a change. You got to make a move. Make contact with Patricia. Her website's there. Register with her. And we have free webinars, live webinars on Wednesdays and Fridays. Different time zones have different times,
Yes.
but if you register with Patricia, she will let you know what country you're in, what times your webinar is. But look, there's so much growth, and most importantly, we are text registered. It's legit, and there's so much more returns when you're text registered. We are just like any other company, and I'm all about travel, so why wouldn't you want to travel and learn? If there's a lot of tax write-off, traveling,
Yeah.
you're not paying everything out of your pocket. So it's
Yeah.
a win-win. It's a
It's a
win-win.
win-win, yes. And for those who are watching in Fiji or in New Zealand, when you see this, you can tap into Tara's website, www.farahnishasilva.com. And New Yorkers here, if you want your coach and mentor to be in New Zealand, you can hop on to her business and choose her, or you can choose me. Either or, we're all in this together, and we're striving for women and even dads out there. And we want you to transform your life and to have a life of fulfillment. And that's our aim, that's our goal, and that's our heart's desire. So once again, Farah, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Wholeheartedly, I thank you, and you have been awesome, and it was a pleasure having you here. And with that, we will say good night and good morning to all of you out there. And I will just play this one more time over here. Let me get there. When you have 3 monitors, that's what happens. Welcome to Chat with Pat. I'm your host, Patricia Peters. We'll dive into fascinating topics, share inspiring stories. We're going to share our thoughts and explore new ideas. Me and you. Get ready for 30 minutes of fun, learning, and connection. Who's ready to chat?
Yes.